Happy
That's
New
it.
Year.
Happy New Year.
That's
That's
all,
the whole
that's all you get.
intro.
That's the whole
Dude,
intro.
you got to warn me of that.
I
I'm
told
used to
you.
like
I
15
actually told
minutes.
you there's no intro at all. So
That's
you're lucky you got
scary.
16 seconds. That's what she
Wow. I'm glad I'm wearing pants.
said. Yeah. How are you? Happy New Year.
Good. Happy New Year. How you doing?
Or as they say, Happy New Year's around here.
Yeah, I don't understand that because this one's
Well,
only going to be one. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, you could futuristically do that. I heard you filled in for me.
I did. I did. Somebody needed to take the full frontal barrage of hate from the interwebs. You're welcome for my service.
Yeah.
The fact that I'm even on a show within about 6 months of the hate that I got is astounding.
I didn't see the hate that you got. I don't.
There's a lot of hate, dude. There's a lot of hate.
There's always a lot of hate. Though. I told you this. The haters are going to hate.
There's so much hate. It's ridiculous. I don't. It's so much. Like, I don't know why people think.
Did you get emails?
I don't know. I got some emails, so I apologize. Not that anybody that's watching this actually cares, but I got some emails from email addresses that I was like, for my own sanity, I'm not even going to open that. I'm just going to swipe and delete it. So hopefully I didn't delete like some up and coming kid that's like, I just want to be a pilot. If I did, right back.
I need to catch up with my emails.
But excuse me, getting all choked up. But yeah, I did. I thought
what
it was
was the problem? Why are people mad at you?
Mostly, I think it was from the Biffle stuff.
Yeah.
Gonky took the brunt from the turkey stuff because that's his.
Well, he made the small country joke.
Yeah, he did, and it's whatever. Like, so that's his clickbait, right? Like, that's how he knows he's going to get lots of clicks. So he took the brunt of that one. I took the Sam shot for the Biffle stuff because people are like, who is this idiot that came on?
Asmo took some hate too because he made fun of other YouTubers. Because I went to the comments after, and because people were like, "You guys," and I said, "Look, one comment from one person does not equal you guys. First of all, everybody's entitled to say whatever they want."
Yeah. So he did, and
yeah,
whatever. But there was very much, and maybe I got roped in a little bit of Cosmos, but it was very much like, who's this idiot who's living off his glory days in the Hawkeye and trying to, and I'm like, look, I specifically said at the beginning, like, I have not heard the audio. I don't need to hear the audio.
No.
Okay. I'm not an accident investigator. I am just here to talk from an aviation standpoint with 24 years of experience, what could have happened. I don't know what's happened. Nobody knows what's happened because there hasn't been a report out yet. Right. But, hopefully we can learn from it and all that. And it was just full barrage of and then you get the ones that are like, these fighter guys think they know everything and they're jet jockeys and blah, blah, blah. They don't know about civilian aviation. And I'm like, dude, I've been flying civilian aviation for the last 11 years. It's just annoying. So I turned it off.
I'm sorry.
No. It's good. It's good.
It's interesting that, and I know why, and I'm not going to say why because I don't want to give said parties any more attention than they already have tried to garner. But there are certain factions that thrive off of the shock jock, the controversy, and all that, and they go out and intentionally stir their followers up and stir other people up to try to gain publicity for themselves. And so, because they want to be the only source on everything, even when they're wrong.
Yeah.
Because they'll never come back and say, hey, I was wrong or whatever.
No.
So that's what that is. What I think people don't understand about the Mover and Gonky show is that it is a live aviation talk show.
Yeah.
It is meant to be kind of like a ready room or a squadron bar or, FBO, where you're just dudes and girls and guys sitting around talking about current aviation events. It's not meant to be we're gonna uncover the mysteries of whatever. Part of it, I think what happens is the live show, people understand that. The clips confuse people. because the clips, Gonky runs the clips and he does a great job, but Gonky is trying to optimize the clip exposure, right? Because that's the point of a channel. I mean, why not?
Oh, but yeah.
When you write certain titles, I think he's not trying to be clickbaity, but when he writes the titles that make sense for, both exposure and whatever. And I think people get confused and think that we are making a video about it. We're not making a video about it. We clipped a segment from a live show.
Yeah.
And that's two different things. It's not. Gonky says we're The View, but with jets. And I'm like, dude, no, let's not say that, please. The View. Because he has to be Whoopi if that's true.
Well, he's been called worse. So
yeah. So people are going to do whatever they're going to do. What disappoints me is the toxicity of the aviation community for stuff like that, because it's not just like, hey, you're wrong. It's like, hey, you're wrong and you're an idiot and you're an asshole and I hope you die. It's like, dude,
and your whole family's wrong and your whole generation is wrong
down,
and your children are going to be wrong.
I get it. And you enjoy another channel over this. Fine.
Cool.
There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. And I made a comment on the previous video and I said another YouTuber was not a source that I would use. And my point is, if I'm going to use a source, I want it verified by NTSB, FAA, whoever the governing body is for it. That's an official source. I don't want to just trust. Yeah, I don't want to trust, some dude on a cell phone or a recording of a recording. I don't think those are official sources. I mean, we can talk about them, but until it's released by whoever, I don't consider that a valid source. I don't consider us a valid source. We have had quote unquote deep intel on certain events because the people involved have contacted us, and we still don't consider ourselves a source. Like, I will never say we're a source on it because, well, number one, I don't want to get the people that actually contacted us in trouble. And number two, it's more appropriate for the governing body to do that than for us. And so, it's disappointing. I would prefer not, but I think also you and probably me too, you have to realize that you're getting comments from the 1%, right? Because people who enjoy the video aren't going to be like, they're not going to take the time to comment. They're going to watch the video, enjoy it, and move on with their lives.
Cool. Yeah.
It's the ones that just get so amped up that they want their opinions known and they want the vitriol to be spewed immediately. They have to, it's an outlet for them.
Well, and I agree. I mean, those are the ones that are, they're waiting on mom in the basement to finish the meatloaf type of joke, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and that's fine. And I don't have to validate my experience to anybody.
No, no.
But I don't agree with, now I exclude myself from this because I am not a YouTuber. I come on your show. I occasionally go on other shows, very rarely now. Although 2026, maybe some more.
No,
there's some good things, but we'll get to that if you want to. But I don't like certain YouTubers that take their factions and they have them go after other people. I'm like, dude, you should be able to stand alone on your own and not need to bring other people down. Now, jabs and jokes and things like that, whatever, fine. That's good aviation fun. But when you have followers that are going out and attacking other people online, you're crossing the line. And one thing I will add, and I will not say names, I will not say anything, but the faction that you and I both know who you're talking about. You remember the story that happened to me a couple months ago at the airport when we did another show and I got confronted?
Yeah.
Well, that person that confronted me looks surprisingly like.
Oh, really? It's a type, but I think the other part of that is the gotcha, fanaticism.
Yeah.
Because they act like this is like some court of law, right? If I say something generically, because I talked about on the video that a PIC could sign off an SIC for a citation endorsement. I got that straight from T-Bear, who was an instructor in the citation. Like, I didn't just make that
Seems like
up.
a pretty good source.
And if you go and actually look up the reg, what I said was the generalization of, well, you got to do training, 3 takeoffs and landings, you got to do V1 cuts. Like, of course, like that was
of course
my point.
It was implied
that it didn't need to be a CFI, and you didn't need to go take a type ride to do it. All it was if you look at, it's a trainer under the FAR or CFR, and I was correct, but people again will take what you say, they'll take a small snippet and try to use it, and all it is it's an attention thing. It's just people that are very insecure with their own position and want to take down or get attention, because controversy sells, and certain shock jocks it's all about controversy, and it's all about, bringing other people down and all this stuff. And when you look at their history, they're about the worst possible thing for aviation that you could possibly imagine. And I can't imagine even wanting to be associated with that. But that's neither here nor there.
Which is why I primarily do just this show.
Yeah, well, let's talk more about positivity, because that's what this is. We've now wasted 11 minutes on nonsense of negativity, and see what the audience has said. This is not subscribers only, but we're only going to, show what the subs, because I appreciate you guys. Robin says, Happy New Year. Thank you. And Happy New Year. Tomcat New Year. Best wishes from Thomas. Garrett, also Happy New Year. CC Pounder, what's up, man? Aching Dragon. We are Aching Dragon. And then let's see, another Happy New Year from Frenchie 4. New member. I can't even tell you, but that's a cool getup he's wearing. He looks very tactical. It is. Definitely. Crazy Pete says, I don't hate Wombat for whatever it's worth.
I appreciate that. Yeah. Anybody who could wear a leather hat and not hate me, I'm good with. So
Wombat, we love you. Nice yurt. Where do you see a yurt? What is a yurt?
You don't know what a yurt is. A domed tent. She's referring to my overnight that the message took.
Yeah.
So
Garrett says, can we do a stream reading the hate emails? Yeah.
It would be too long. Frankly, it would take too long is what it would be. So
Drummer Guy says, did the McFarland cult attack you? Actually, no. Cletus, and Cletus, I wouldn't say he's like, Cletus is a good dude, right?
Very
he does good
stuff.
He like Biffle, he helped the hurricane victims. He helped the Jamaica. Was it Jamaica? What was it?
Yes.
Was it Jamaica that got
he went to Jamaica, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, with this Pilatus.
That was his latest,
Yeah, I mean, dude, he's a good guy. Like, absolutely not. No.
It's great. And I might be working with him in the future, too.
I hope you are. These are, because then you'll help us finally.
Yeah. Well, no, you remember he wanted to land his cub on a pontoon boat, and he might need an LSO.
Yeah. So, well, again, nothing to do with Cletus at all. This is
stand-up guy.
These are people that want to be sole experts, quote unquote, with no competition, and they will bring down and try to, trash talk anybody else. And one of the things I always find funny is, Wombat, you're kind of hybrid, right? You flew the Hawkeye, then you were a fighter guy, and you've been majority of your careers now airlines. I always laugh at the ones that or the comments or whatever that it's called. It's a logical fallacy called the appeal to authority, because they'll start throwing out hours. They'll be like, hey, he's got 10,000 hours doing that. In fact, I saw a short where one of the famous YouTubers was talking about how certain heavy pilots were more experienced at that point in their career than Top Gun pilots because they had more hours. So you can spend 10,000. Yeah, you can spend 10,000 hours on autopilot, or you can spend 1,000 hours flying a fighter. They're not the same thing. I'll take the 1,000 hours in a fighter, or a crop duster, or something where every 1 hour, every minute is actually spent aviating, navigating, communicating, and doing a mission, than somebody who is managing a system. Because airline flying is 98% systems management and not flying. And I say this as someone who does it. It's just not the same. Like it's you're not getting the same experience. I'm sorry.
I agree. That's not to say that somebody who flew for the airlines their whole career has no experience.
No, not saying that at all. I'm not saying. Yeah,
I'm just quelling the haters
yeah.
that are going to say that, right? Because they're like, oh, so somebody with 10,000 hours has no
No,
experience. No, they don't. But so for the people that don't know, like, and you and I know because we went through this. If you make the transition from the military to the airlines, okay, it varies. It's changed. I've been at the airlines over 11 years now. God help me. And it's which I was 13 years active duty, so I still beat. I'm just saying, I haven't crossed that line yet. There'll be sad posts when I do. No, but if you were fighter tactical time, you get a plus up. I forget what it was, 1.3, whatever. But for every hour in a fighter, you got a plus up, and there's a reason for that, because fighter pilots, and frankly, Hawkeye pilots, those types of tactical, if you will, pilots, they're not just sitting there on autopilot. Like, they're doing something. And the airlines recognize that. The industry recognizes it. And they go, well, hold on a second. We have to level the playing field here, right? A guy in a tanker, while he has a lot of experience, remember, everybody in the military has flown planes built by the lowest bidder, right? That's the one constant. Regardless of what you've flown, you have flown a machine built by the lowest bidder. That's a fact. I don't care what machine it was. But to level the playing field, a guy that's sitting on a tanker track or flying a C-5 across the world or C-17, that's a little bit different than somebody that flew Hornets or Vipers or Eagles, or, it's just different. So the airlines go, well, we can give a plus up factor of 1 point whatever for every flight hour to at least, and again, the airlines didn't do that. Like, they didn't throw a dart at the wall and be like 1.3. Like, no, they have very smart people that looked at this. I'm sure they consulted.
Some of that
like
too
NASA
is
and all that.
Also the taxi time logging. We don't log the taxi. We don't log.
True. That is true.
We don't do Hobbs time. Like, civilians log, Hobbs time. Right. Which is not a military thing. Like, dude, I've got, 3 hours at a time of just sitting on the ground with the engines off, and that still counts. And you're just like, how is this? That's the airline world. But I guess my point is, like, there's a lot of this, it's ego in the sense that people who haven't done it tend to get this inferiority complex, and they start throwing out the hours. They're like, I got 10,000 hours, I got 20,000 hours, or whatever. The worst instructor I ever flew with had 20,000 hours. Just a horrible person. And it was very early in my career. And he was insufferable. It was terrible. It was non-standard. He kind of did things his own way. He had that. He was trying to instruct, and he wasn't very good at it. The best are, have been, like FAPEs in pilot training, and people, young instructors, because they're in the books. They're most current. The most current guy typically in a fighter squadron is the young lieutenant that's flying his ass off. I flew, when I was a lieutenant, 1 month, I flew 27 sorties of BFM. Dude, that is a lot of flying,
That would kill a current you.
Oh, it kills me. It's why I move like Batman.
Sure.
It's why I can't.
Tell me again how the Viper was such a great aircraft. While you look from side to side.
Yeah, most of that is actually from the T-38. Most of my injuries in my career, I hate to say it, but if I had to pick one airplane I would not have flown, it would have been the T-38A. Yeah, dude, that airplane broke me. Way more than anything else I ever did, and it was not as fun. Anyway, sorry. We keep getting sidebar, but these are fun. Wombat, people can't handle the truth. Keep speaking, says Robin.
I'm not changing.
Renee says, Mover, we missed you. I missed you. I would have much rather have been on the show than where I was, which was in a simulator.
Which is evident because you joined the chat at the end.
Simulator that kept breaking.
That's the worst.
That is the worst, dude. It kept breaking.
Longer.
Yeah, the IRUs kept going off, and we're just like, oh my god, I'm never gonna get out of here.
That surprised me because it's a newish plane. You would think the sim, but
well, the best part is, you get into such a hurry, and we push back. And they're like, okay, start both engines, and we're like, uh-oh. They were both already running, because when they reset it like the third time, the engines are running.
That's hey man, in my 7 years of sim instructing at the airline, I may not have done everything perfect, but I knew I was good at operating the sim because that is hard, dude. Because airline pilots, we are systematic through the profile, right? Like we don't do well when you're just thrown in the middle. And
well, because I don't know if you guys are doing this, but they are harping on. So we did this thing called fleet harmonization. Because we got Boeing, we got Airbus or whatever. And in their infinite wisdom, they said we need to all do the same stuff, even though Boeing jets don't fly like Airbus and Airbus doesn't fly like Boeing. And I guess on the Airbus side, there's these things called triggers and flows. And where, a certain phase triggers you to do something that's kind of by memory, not via the checklist. Well, that's fine, except in Boeing is not designed like that. Boeing is checklist based. In fact, on the 787, it's an electronic checklist. So what the flow is they want you to do it and then go reference the checklist, which is nonsense because the checklist is the checklist. Like that's the whole point of the checklist being there. Why even do all that? But it's for the fleet harmonization. So what you end up with is a lot of the instructor or the check airman or whatever, like evaluating your ability to do these flows. But then when something like you're talking about happens where sim breaks, you get thrown into the middle, you're like, I don't know where where even are we? What are we doing?
Yeah. It's tough, man. And it's, I don't love it. We have the same thing. And where I think you can have fleet harmonization amongst Boeing and you can have it amongst Airbus. Yeah. When you cross those streams, it just doesn't.
No, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work because, frankly, things are called different things.
Right.
I mean, as simple as throttles to thrust levers. Like that sounds dumb, but it's different. And it's
ICAST that you can.
And if you're at that level and it's different, wait till you get in the weeds. And
but
it's all it's a money thing. It's a money thing.
To me, it would be simpler just to the people that transition. That's your problem, Okay,
yeah, I agree.
Learn the new way. Like, okay,
I promise you,
the new language.
There was nobody at the Hornet Rag that was like, well, let's see if we can make the syllabus good for Wombat because he flew the Hawkeye. Like, I promise you that conversation.
No Hawkeye.
No, there's no Hawkeye standard. Is like, I mean, probably the opposite, actually. Like, hey, let's mess with this idiot, So, but yeah, I get it. It's just a different world. So I'm glad you're done with it, though. The check ride and all that. That's good.
Thomas says, Wombat hate, no. Wombat good. Happy New Year, guys. Thank you, Thomas. CC Pounder says, just smile and wave.
It's true. I used that the other day.
Actually. MJ says 3 minutes in and there's always already a Wombat rant. Love it.
Sorry.
Yeah. And Lanu, these people are just trolled. The Combo Monday was just fine. I listened to it after it got unbanned from
the country.
Because I hopped in on the chat and then I went to bed. And then my sinuses have been so bad in the last couple of weeks because of cedar allergy or whatever in Texas.
Yeah.
1:30 a.m. I'm like, I'm awake. Luna, let's go. And she looks at me and she's like, what?
She's like, let's not go.
Yeah, I'm staying in bed. She stayed in bed. Usually she'll hop out and try to load herself in the car, but she was like, nah. So we left at 1:45 Tuesday morning, got to my house at 8:45. Driving straight through, and I listened to it. I listened to what I could of the show when it finally got, because during that process it was banned and then it was unbanned during that drive.
Gotcha.
And I heard you guys talk about the citation stuff, which I thought was fine. I think, and maybe I'm a narcissist or maybe I'm wrong, but I think people get a lot out of just experienced pilots talking about how it relates to their stuff, right? Sure. I know some people want, citation guy talks about a citation thing, but sure. I do think there's value, especially when we're all trying to learn. I think there's value in, like, you talking about how you deal with an engine out, V1 cut, how you dealt with this in the Hawkeye, the amount of rudder you had to use, and then transitioning, because one of the things with that mishap, the Dutton had flown he was an airline pilot. Yep. He had flown the C5. He had a lot of different things. And I think the point that you guys were making and I've made in the past is his experience what we saw did not match what we think of his experience.
Correct.
Right. Not to say that experienced pilots don't make mistakes,
no,
but I think what you guys were getting at, and it was a very valid point, is there's more to this story than what we have been given. Like something was going on, something was driving this. It wasn't like a pilot like that typically does not make that kind of pattern.
Correct.
It does not do that kind of thing. So, and the other thing about that too, and I'll point out what T-Bear has pointed out to me, his theory, the single pilot exemption may have happened and we just don't know it. Like, I think a lot of people are throwing out illegal flights and stuff like that, which could be true. But I think that it's so early. Why are we in such a rush to have a probable cause when the ink is not even dry on the initial report? Like, why do we have to know 100%? I mean, I think what y'all did was fine. It's okay to say, I don't know. Here's my experience and what I think investigators might look at. And here's our discussion because we're pilots and we talk about it. But I don't think at any point you guys were like, here's what happened. This is it. 100%. I mean, I think you specifically said, I don't know, but here's what my experience is.
Yeah. I think to answer your question as to why people want that when the ink's not dry is because we are in a society now where we want to put blame immediately. There has to be blame, right? Because I could never make a mistake. I'm not saying that it's me, but the person who's watching.
Yeah.
I'm perfect, right? As the viewer of this channel, I am a perfect person. I've never made a mistake in my life. But this guy killed my favorite NASCAR driver and his family. So let's put blame on him. It's like, hold on a second. Like, there are so many variables on I mean, dude, you can take over the last 11 years, the greatest, easiest, best flight I've done at the airlines. And there's still so many dynamic variables in it that you could dissect it and be like, well, you could have done this better, could have done this. This might not have been perfect. So it's like, no flight is ever perfect. But we live in a society now where we can't wait to learn that, because you know what? Somebody in Hollywood is going to put on an outfit that we have to talk about, or somebody's going to put out a movie, or some politician's going to do something, and we have to move on. So like, we just have to be like, hey, this is news. That dude screwed up, moving on. And unfortunately, we're I think a worse society because of it.
Well, I mean, we've seen this in other mishaps. Jeju, everybody wants to blame the airport design. And it's like, come on, man, there's more to the story. Airplanes aren't designed to go off a runway at 150 knots. That's just, they're not. Gear up off airport excursions are usually not very good.
Yeah, correct.
Air India, same thing. It started with pilot error to Boeing error, something with Boeing. And then we learned that the fuel switches might've been intentionally, the cutoffs might've been switched to cutoff intentionally. I get it. We want to know the answer right now, but that's just not how it works. And in some respects, again, some of the quote unquote fans from other places coming here, they're used to people who definitively say this is what happened. Correct. I'll bet my life on it. Sometimes they're right, but sometimes they're wrong, and they don't come back and say, hey man, I was wrong. I did that. I mean, I bet off Air India. I bet off on did they do, intersection departure? Like, I bit off on that, and I shouldn't have. I deleted the video and I said, look, I shouldn't have done that. I was not in the right headspace. I should not have been that person.
Yeah.
It's tempting to do, because when something comes out, you want to be, if you're, because that's the way the algorithm works. If that's what you're trying to accomplish, it's tempting, but it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing at all.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yep, we did that one. Laura B, what's up? Says, don't worry about it, Wombat. Some people need to just start their own channel instead of trying to take over discussion narrative on somebody else's channel. No, I think they're coming.
I feel like she's talking about me there. She's trying to get me to start a YouTube channel.
Well, you should. I agree.
No.
Oh my God, -4. You can have that.
Bid to avoid main. Noted.
This ain't the news or nothing. We need to, I do. Gonky and I were talking about this. We need to put a disclaimer at the beginning of the show that this is a talk show, not the news. And then a disclaimer on the clips that this is a clip from a live show.
Yeah, that I think I agree with you. I think because I do go back, and the hate is not on the full video.
No,
And you could see it. The massive amount of comments are also not on the full video because we
no,
live in a society where nobody can actually watch something for 2 hours. So I do think some sort of disclaimer, but then again, I think it would be more valuable to
yeah.
have it on the clips to be like, hey, this is clipped. If you want, go to the show to watch the whole
I
thing.
thought we
But you're
did that.
still gonna have
Yeah,
idiots. You're
I'll
still
talk.
gonna have people.
Yeah, I'll talk to
And I
Donkey about that. We'll see if we can.
yeah.
We can do it. Did I ever fix the helicopter? Are you talking about Airwolf, or I don't? This is the only helicopter I own is right behind me,
It
and as far
works,
as I
right?
know, it's fixed. I just haven't flown it.
That's why
Card.
it's still fixed.
Yeah. Yep. There you go. Drummer guy says the other day someone posted a picture of Biffle's boat on Facebook. Garrett Mitchell politely asked him to take it down immediately. After that, all of his fans started attacking the guy and harassing. Oh, see, I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's
I think people, especially if you're a fan of something, you need to step back. There's no reason to. Although I wish I had fans like that sometimes.
you do.
They
There's
could
just a lot
fight.
less.
No, my fans are reasonable.
That's
They're mostly like
yeah.
mature. They're not going to go fight other people in comment section because that's not the kind of people that I draw.
Yeah. Just
You
know
know?
one day when the balloon goes up and the war of YouTubers starts, we're gonna need your people to go to bat. So just be ready. You don't have to do it now. Just quietly.
Bungle Bush, and that's a cool Yorkie, right?
Cute dog.
Speaking of going back to correct things, did you ever go back to correct the records about the large drones people saw in a while back? What was there to correct? Because you're talking about New Jersey. They ended up being nothing.
Yeah.
I don't.
That's the only one.
I don't know about that one. The truth is out there. MJ says they had a chicken pot pie in the basement the other night. My basement, not my mom's.
That's a big difference. It's your basement, so it's okay. It's like if it's your dog. What?
Pure jealousy, Wombat Mover. You guys keep it real. They hate because they ain't. Yeah. Yeah. What's up, Hawkeye? Happy New Year. Powder says I have a SIC type and a Learjet. It's literally a little ground school and 3 laps in the pattern. And yes, it can be. So it can be signed off by a PIC quote unquote trainer, or it actually could be signed off by a non-pilot in management. There's a whole section. Yeah. There's a whole section for certain operations that management can sign it off too. It didn't even have to be a pilot.
Do you think that changes with this, in your opinion?
No.
Think the FAA gets no?
What could happen though, T-Bear and I were talking about this, is the FAA doesn't like the single pilot exemption because it's a designed. So that was the other thing I said, is that the aircraft had to be single pilot capable, and that is a true statement. There are certain requirements like gear handle, certain switches that have to be reach accessible. Sure. Like you have to be able to do everything single pilot, right? It makes sense. Sure. It's not that the aircraft itself, it's just that it has to be configured. It has to have the correct configuration. But the FAA doesn't really care for the idea of single pilot. So what could happen is if this is a SPE thing, they might, you might not see it anymore. That might be their thing, or nothing could happen. I mean, they don't, people always like, we demand answers. It's like, well, sometimes it's just the things happen. We don't need to change something just because a mishap happened.
Yep. Agreed.
Drummer says, haven't seen you guys since last year.
Nice. Never gets old.
Jay says you're reading the comments. I am. Anybody that's got the little line thing. So
it's funny. Like, oh man.
Yurts are traditional nomadic shelters in places like Mongolia.
Yeah, this was not that. This was about as bougie as you could get. It was very nice. The missus was nice to treat me. And we took the truck up there and took it off-roading.
Wombat has a new book going.
Wrote a chapter before 6 a.m. this morning. How are
you? Did you?
I did. Today, wow. I mean, we all need to do it, right? That's what. But today I woke up, did a little Bible study, wrote a chapter, had some coffee, got a workout in, drinking water. Yeah, it's been a good day. When we're done here, I'm going to write a chapter in the other book. So,
2 books.
Have you ever worked 2 books at once?
Yes, but I didn't stick with it. So
Okay.
I wrote.
Were they the same genre or no?
Yeah, because I was writing a it was a Spectre and a Shepherd book at the same time, and then I shelved one, finished the other, and then went back to the other one.
Gotcha. That's not what I'm doing. They're very different.
Well, so I finished. I wrote the epilogue of the Project Virtus book 2, which I think I'm going to call it Daedalus Dawn.
Ooh,
isn't that a cool name?
That is rolls right off the tongue.
Daedalus Dawn.
What kind of character is Dawn? Is she good looking?
No, it's the name of a mission.
Oh,
I have to write the prologue. That's all that's left. Right now, it's got 106,000 words.
Wow, good for you.
And I just need to do a prologue, so it'll probably be about 107,000 words because it'll be a short prologue, and then done with the first draft.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which means I let it sit for a little while, then I get to the editing because I hate editing.
Yeah, editing's rough.
Yeah. Drummer says, I wonder what the actual percentage numbers of active duty members become up like. I think most fighter, they don't know what else to do. What else is there? Like, I think it's a very small percentage that do something else.
Yeah. Agreed.
Wait, what Surrender Monkey said something funny.
Uh-oh.
I don't think I've laughed harder than your AI slop storage. It only made me chuckle. Well, have I got news for you? I've got another one.
Oh, boy.
The title is called, it's from the same place. I love this. This is going to be my new go-to for Mover Ruins AI. Veteran SEAL sat quietly on the flight until F-35 pilots called Iron Fist on the radio. Spoiler alert, the call sign Viper makes an appearance in this one too.
Interesting.
I can't. We're gonna do this one. This is gonna be one of the new ones. Yeah. Is that the guy who got fired while in the air? No, not the guy who got fired while in the air. That one was funny. I told you about that, Wombat. When I went to get my ATP, my instructor got fired while we were on our first flight together.
No.
Yeah, he gets a text, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I just got fired." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "We'll finish and then we'll land." And no shit, he got.
That's usually the order you do it in.
Yeah. He had a little falling out.
Wow.
Yes, we did finish Halo, Spider. All the Halo games. Crazy Pete says, when the 141 was boneyarded, some of their people came to 130 and tried to make us do things their way. It didn't work out well. Yeah, there you go.
It's always like that, man. It's just how it is.
Let's see. I got a actual mail postcard from China.
Don't breathe it in too much.
That's probably why I'm sick. Hi, Mover. This is the first trip to the mainland China since 2015. The last trip, I left Hong Kong for Macau in 2017. I went to Guangzhou with my parents. I took the high-speed rail in Hong Kong section. It ran up to 200 kilometers per hour in the China section. Top speed is only 250. And then Shenzhen Guangzhou line used to call Kowloon Canton Railway to link. Only run at 155 kilometers, Eric.
Wow.
There you go.
Even in freedom units, that's fast.
Yeah, I don't speak any of those things that man said.
Yeah, but it sounds fast. It sounds fast.
Yeah. Hey, little different, but there's a news story that was sent to me, which I think falls under the Mover Mailbag, that I thought we might talk about together, Wombat.
Okay.
I know you didn't prepare for this, and this
I never do. So this is
news or nothing.
Just go read all your comments.
But this is gonna get probably some traction because I'm gonna clip this.
Okay. Here we go.
On my channel. So get your serious face on. Okay, you ready?
In 3, 2.
All right. So Wombat, the internet is buzzing.
It always is.
Hold on.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay,
I'm buzzing from this. A little vertigo there.
All right. The internet is buzzing. So I guess I don't know if you speak Chinese, do you?
I don't. No, I let it slide.
So this is the audio from these two dudes. I guess they got on.
疑似国军飞官毫不客气回呛，似乎戳
And they
到
started
对方
trash
痛点，
talking
让
each
空
other.
军军机恼羞成怒，爆粗口。
I don't know if it
我
was
方
an
人员发
actual
现
Viper or, who was doing what to whom. But according to Lu Jun Quan, and this is translated, it says, the entire internet is buzzing. Is Xi Jinping the one you choose? The Taiwanese pilot's sharp words left the communist China pilot. Is that the CCP? Furious and exasperated, resorting to threats laced with profanity to dodge the question. Taiwanese military. Stand up first before talking about kneeling for a lifetime as the Communist Party's slave. Still oblivious to rising up against the Communist Party. How tragic. And then the other pilot comes back. Self-righteous. F your mother's.
Wow.
Lady parts.
Wow.
Taiwanese military clueless about what freedom is. Is Xi Jinping the one you choose? How tragic, or chose? Chinese military, tragic your ass. Taiwanese military, kingdom of foul language. You're world champions at spewing filth. How tragic.
Wow.
So I wanted to ask you.
I've never said that on the radio.
That's what
not
I
like
was.
Maybe, but
That's,
not.
I mean, so that's my question, Wombat. Would you get into a trash talking contest on guard with your potential adversary?
I mean, that seems not smart because you don't know. I mean, I don't. Again, not an expert. Cue the comments. Never flown either of those aircraft or for those countries.
Well,
but you don't know what they're flying around with, right? And I mean, the headspace of somebody that's saying that on the radio from a professionalism standpoint, if they have their finger on the trigger of something, I mean, now we would have in the past, like when we flew in the Gulf, Persian Gulf, not Gulf of America, just trying to get all the hate. You would commonly be on the radio with the Iranians, right? Because you're right off the coast. And there would be some like good-natured joking.
Is that the old joke about send them up, we'll wait?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You think that's a real story?
It is a real story, I think. And I have personally heard variations of that story on my deployments. So that being said, it's not I'm gonna have to kill my camera because my little girl just walked in the middle of this. That being said, so much for the professional clip that you're gonna clip. Sorry, man. To this level of speaking, I think that's insane. And frankly, that's a good way to get shot.
Well, so the Taiwan Strait in Taiwan, very contested, right? The one China policy. China believes that Taiwan is part of China. Taiwan is like, we're a free republic. We are our own entity. And it's very hotly contested. Actors have had to apologize for calling it the country of Taiwan so that they could sell their movies in China. Very, very sensitive subject.
100%.
And it has always been when people talk about the next war, quote unquote, it's China in the Taiwan Strait scenario. That's like the big World War III, what happens.
Yep.
And I get it. I mean, you're speaking the same language. You're out there. I mean, it would be like us trash talking Canada, I guess. If especially now, Canada is pretty mad at us because, Canada's mad because of things that have been said about making them the 51st. Like if we were out there, but the difference is we're allies with Canada.
True.
We should be. We are. They're not. I'm just kidding. They're not doing joint exercises.
True.
So there's a lot of animosity between those two. I agree with you, though. I don't care because I know that the internet's listening. And while it may be satisfying to say these things, it's not a diplomatic solution. No. It's not something that's going to further my cause or my career in any meaningful way. And I can't imagine the bosses on either side came back and were like, Good job, boys.
Good job. Yeah.
Really represented us.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. And I apologize for my daughter coming in. I didn't mean to ruin the clip on it because it's good. It's
now
important
you are.
stuff.
Now you're ruining it because I have to clip now twice the two. Anyway.
Oh, sorry. The point that I think is very interesting on this is I agree in that sense is, remember the stories I referred to with Iran and all that was pre everybody's listening to everything. That was pre cameras everywhere. It was a different world back then. So to do it now, I agree with you. You're in a situation where, this is going to be streamed live immediately.
It is. It's on the news.
And I mean, you did the translation, but I'm assuming if that's not what was said or translated properly, there'd probably be people that are calling that out. So that's rough, man. We live in a different society where you really have to watch because there's always somebody watching or listening or everything. So I agree. I can't imagine either one of those pilots, one in particular, based on the language, came back to base and was given a field promotion.
Yeah.
And, a squadron
letter.
But
of
again,
reprimand.
I think those they give everybody. That's the if you haven't got one of those in your career, have you really had a career? Let's be honest. But I do think that's interesting because just from a self-preservation side of it, it's like, man, I don't know what that dude's carrying. Like, I don't want to start talking about his mom. Like, dude, them's fighting words, man. Like,
I'll disagree there because as a red-blooded fighter pilot, I'm of the send them up, bring it on. However, you're right. You're right, though. I mean, you are correct. Yeah. Like, you don't want to be the Dos Gringos that started World War III.
Yes. And remember, when you're the red-blooded fighter pilot that's like, send them up, I'll wait. You're saying that with the full support of the battle group behind you. That is going to give you tipper that they're coming and all that. This sounds like it was just two dudes up airborne. It's like, man.
I would say that no one will win if this war kicks off.
No.
I will go on record and say that this is not like, I don't care what your ego says. If you've ever been in combat, you ever flown in war, you've seen losses, you've lost friends or whatever, it is not as glamorous. It is not as altruistic. Like, there are reasons to go to war and we should go to war when that time comes, but I wouldn't incite fighting just for the sake of ego.
No,
which this is ego. This is ego.
Yeah, war's never good, but this time
war's hell.
Really bad.
Like, the older you get, the more you want to avoid it.
Yeah.
I mean, it is.
Yeah, agreed.
Like Gonky says, can't we all just be friends?
I wish. I mean, I look back at it now, man. I was showing my son my logbook, military logbook, because it's in the safe. Just keep it. And he asked me, like, what's all the green time? Because they write the combat time in green. At least we did. And I explained to him what it was. And he goes, oh, do you wish you had more of that? And I go, I wish I had none of it. Like, I wish, looking back on my career, that none of us had any. You know what I mean? That we just didn't have combat time. And I just got to go rage around in the planes and land on ships and pull into port and have a good time. But yeah, this is not good. That I had not heard that story. So again, zero prep. But that's going to be, I wonder if there'll be any fallout from that. It's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, I'm trying to catch up with the comments now.
Okay, we're back to normal. End scene.
And
scene. Okay. Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of editing that's going to have to be done with that one.
Yeah, no, that's sorry again about
the editing. Okay.
She told my wife just texted me. She told my wife that she was just coming in to check on Daddy, which I thought.
Well, honestly, we'd probably get more views if you
put her on camera.
Yeah, put her on camera.
Yeah, probably.
Rocky was joking about having his wife sub in for me if I can't make it next Monday.
And I said, way more views.
Way more
views.
Yeah. Way more views. It'd probably be a more entertaining show by far.
It would just be people watching Gonky get yelled at by his wife.
His wife goes, it would just be one long mental health minute. I said, yeah.
One long, one-sided mental health.
It also impressed me that she knew what the mental health minute was.
But hey, I mean, my wife listens occasionally. Like,
All right, let me see.
That's hilarious. I would love to. I'd watch that show. Should be a little insight into Gonki's marriage, is what that would be.
Oh, I don't know.
I didn't say a good insight.
Okay.
I just said a little insight.
Let me catch up here.
Okay.
Happy New Year. Speaking of going back to our things, no, we talked about that. New member? Oh, we did that one. How about this one? Thomas, pure jealousy, Wombat. Yep. We talked about that. Wombat for Monday night, still working on the Gettysburg cruise patch.
You heard that. There's got to be an epic. You had enough time with the Navy to know there has to be an epic cruise patch from that that's not for sale.
Sim Huey says, Happy New Year. My wife wanted me to ask if you got her email. Let me go look. Did you send it to the Mover and Gonki show email? I haven't. I don't know if Gonki has, but just to be safe, resend it. The real Mike Bundy. Aw, thank you. I guess. MJ says, great point. It also doesn't match his experience flying for airlines. Not having SIC allegedly puts all the work on them. Even the best pilot could struggle with it. While I pointed this out. So again, this is entirely speculative, but I like to think that people, because if you don't, it's pink, right? Pilot intentional noncompliance. I like to think that people aren't intentionally doing that. And if they are, I'll call them out, because I did a mishap report on one that was very close to me where a guy got his student pilot. He soloed and then he quit training and then bought a helicopter, took his family flying, killed his family. And
on purpose?
No, like because of incompetence, because he inadvertent in an IMC and crashed at night. And I believe that is it's almost a murder suicide, because you intentionally did not complete the training. You didn't do what the regs required, and you put your family, who did not have a say in it, in a bad position because they didn't know any better. If that's what happened, if you're intentionally non-compliant with the rules and you're breaking and that, absolutely hold people accountable, bring that up. But the going in assumption to me is not to shame the dead, right? Like, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. So that benefit of the doubt to me says that they did have the single pilot exemption. The sign off just wasn't updated in the Airman Registry yet, because that is very possible.
Sure.
And if his son was sitting there, that's perfectly legal. Because if you're, think about it, if you're single pilot, legally flying, it doesn't matter who sits in the right seat now.
Correct.
His son could be up there with his instrument rating, learning from dad, and getting experience, talking on radios and crew coordination, crew concept, stuff like that. That is the benefit of the doubt I want to give them until proven otherwise.
100%.
Because I don't want to believe that. I don't want to believe it. If it's true, then I'll believe it. And if the official source says, yep, they broke the law and didn't do it, then yeah, okay, then that's bad. But let's not start there.
No.
Let's not, but anyway, with that being said, it's very possible that he was flying it like a crew aircraft, because I'm sure his son knew, right? Just because he didn't have the type rating doesn't mean his son, couldn't learn on Microsoft Flight Sim or read the books or, start getting experience. He's an up and coming commercial pilot.
100%. My son's 7 years old and we talk about aviation.
Yeah.
If your dad's a pilot or mom's a pilot, sorry, man, the hate is going to come from so many different directions.
He's in
If
Auburn.
your parent is a pilot, had a career being a pilot, you ain't forget the fact that he was at Auburn going through pilot training. Like, just living in that environment, you are going to have some knowledge of aviation. Is it enough to fly a plane? No, but it's something. And he did. So I agree with you. I want to start with assuming the best, and then we'll deal with the worst if it comes to that. But I hope it does not.
Garrett says there's no such thing as a tragic accident anymore. Someone has to be blamed, and there has to be a scapegoat, or people aren't satisfied and make theories to make them feel better. Everything is because they feel smarter when they think they figured it out.
Yep.
So if you're on an aircraft you're not type rated with or familiar with, and the pilot had some emergency, couldn't fly the plane, could you safely land that plane? Probably. Depends on what it is, but probably I figure it out.
So
not gonna be pretty, but we're gonna go.
Yeah, I mean, I got 24 years now of flying different aircraft, and I'm sure as hell not going to sit in the back and watch. I mean,
yeah,
I'm going to give it my best. You know what I mean? There's enough stuff that is fundamentally the same.
Exactly.
But you throw me in a 737 with no auto trim and no snack tray. There's a lot I got to get over.
That's an emergency.
Where do you put your meal? That's not to say I couldn't do it, but I agree with you. It would not be pretty. Like people would not be clapping for my smooth landing.
No,
but at least they would still be clapping. Is kind of what
I mean, because you know the basics, right? You need a final approach speed, certain amount of flaps. The gear has to be down, and all the gear handles are pretty much the same because of the way they design them. So, I mean, you'll at least get the gear down, probably some flaps.
Yep.
You might not be at the right speed, but if I can get the radios working, I can talk to somebody.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. That's a huge thing, right? If I have time, we teach it as a time, no time bucket. I don't know what you guys teach, but I've heard it called a million different things, but it's immediate or delayed or whatever. But if I have time and gas, greatly going to help because I can get somebody on the radio that's an expert in that aircraft and they can talk me through things and I can get it. But again, it's still not going to.
Yeah. It's not going to be pretty though.
No, but most of mine aren't anyway. So if we're being honest, so.
Laura B says, I will go and fight people in the comment section.
Yes.
Yeah. Sometimes that's just a waste of time though. Hey, I'm listening to an audiobook called Trees in Flight. I kind of like the author.
Everybody should go buy. It's amazing.
Buy Trees in Flight. Yeah. There's a question here in a minute. We'll get to it. Mover, last New Year's Day, you introduced the cover of Project Virtus. Any book announcement this year, New Year's Day? Same question. Well, I think the next book's going to be called Daedalus Dawn.
I like that.
And so that's the second book of Project Virtus. The next one is a novella I'm writing. It's going to be first person about a helicopter pilot, law enforcement. And then I'm going to pick up the Spectre series again because I got an idea for that. Actually, it's a Spectre Shepherd book because I've left that one sitting for a minute. And that's it. What about you, Wombat?
Book 3 in the series. My goal is to get it done and published this year. Minimum. And then book 4 for me will be a completely different. It's not going to be fiction. It's going to be completely different.
Aliens?
No, that wouldn't be fiction because we all know they're real. But
due to the probing,
just trying to get followers at this point.
I thought you didn't like the followers. You were just saying they were.
I love all the followers.
They're mean to you.
Some are mean. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to make a conscious effort to get it.
Okay.
To get it done.
Real Mike Bundy, yay, jobs for young pilots being the switch. Oh, yeah. I get it.
Hey, you got to start somewhere.
MJ says, single pilot rated guy crashed a jet into military housing last year. Really? I don't remember that one.
I don't remember that one either.
Last year?
Well, that could have been yesterday, for all you know.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. I've been writing 2 papers at a time. I know where they're going. There is, Spectre will make an appearance, but it's not going to be about him. He let the man retire. He had a rough series. He had rough 8 books. He had a lot going on. Mover rightly hates the use of aircrafts. I do. I have a similar issue with fires in any context other than those guys with joint fires.
Yeah,
that's fires is a JP whatever joint planning term. Yeah. Okay. Shout out to Wombat and E2. I like big boats and I cannot lie.
Me too.
Drummer guy says, what was the line on Behind Enemy Lines? Are you going to fly commercial jets, troll the friendly skies in a bus? Look, there's nothing wrong with the job. It pays very well.
Just go read Reddit.
A lot of, well, they just, another one came out for a
2-year of course they did. Of course they did.
2-year Southwest. He made $300,000. And they were.
Captain or FO? Do you know?
The captain. 2.5-year captain.
They have 2.5-year captains. Cool.
Apparently. We do. I mean,
yeah, we probably do too. Yeah, we probably do. I don't know anymore. I don't.
Excellent rebuttals from the Chinese. MJ says, to be fair, the Chinese response is probably what I would say if I had nothing to argue.
No, not wrong.
There is a third option, and it's say nothing.
Nah, that's not. Come on.
Megalodon,
name a fighter pilot who's ever used that option.
I got my private pilot certificate right before Christmas, going for my IFR rating at the end of the month. Hell yeah, man.
Nice,
good job.
Nice.
Congratulations. Sim Huey, she resent, said subject is husband is a big fan. I can only assume what she's up to.
That's hilarious. That's probably why it was auto deleted based on that. Mover immediately deletes subjects that start with that.
Oh, I'll have to talk to Gonki about that.
Yeah,
we got it now. I had not seen that, so that's good. Good grief. This is hard without Douglas. I don't know where he is.
Enjoying the new year.
Yeah. It's like the old news clip where the dude is being serious when his little girl struts in and the baby rolls through the door. The ninja mom enters and herds them all out again.
That's a first. How many times have I been on your shows? And that's a first. Well, we normally do them at night too. So,
pro tip to new airline pilots: if you ever feel bored and want to talk to somebody, set the transponder code to 7500. Have you ever done that, Wombat?
No, nope. I've never actually, even in emergencies, changed my squawk.
Yeah, I don't either.
Bad? That's the last thing I care about.
I don't think you do. We don't train for it.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you. Because you're always talking to somebody, maybe on the Nats.
In the fighter and in the Hawkeye, I think, nope, can't. Transponder in the military, something I flew had a switch where you could just switch it to emergency.
C-38 had that.
Yeah.
Because the switch would sometimes get, so it would be like off, standby, on, an emergency, and sometimes it would over travel to emergency and get stuck. Perfect. I've had wingmen like, hey, you're squawking emergency. Can one of you guys stop?
That's hilarious. But yeah, I don't think I've ever put it in there. So
yeah. This is the new video of the Kizalalama. Oh yeah, I did see that. We'll do that later. I don't want Wombat to piss off the small country of Turkey, eh?
No, I love Turkey. Both the country.
If Gonki was president, he could bring world peace.
Assuming he could find his office.
Yeah, I don't know that he should be the president. He'd be a good vice president.
Okay.
I think he'd be a good POTUS.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about president. That's
Mover, what about the episode when you were mad? You got to narrow that down.
Yeah, which one?
I mean, all the time.
All the times. That's funny.
I hope you didn't send it to whoever deleted all their emails. Gonki.
Yeah.
There are no winners and more. There are casualties on both sides. PTSD is real and generational loss is impossible to put a price on.
It's a fact.
Saw your video with the 53E flyover, and this weekend I got to see the 53K up close, and makes me want to put rotary at the top of my dream sheet. Rotary seems to be getting more hours.
Just remember, look, there's nothing wrong with heloflopters, but think past your next set of orders, because like it's not limiting. It's not to say you couldn't go on to civilian fixed wing aviation. It's just going to be hard.
Well, there is an argument. So I read something the other day that helicopter aviation it's getting to the point where it's about to be like the airlines, because there are so many jobs and not enough pilots, because the only pilots that are eligible for these stupid high ratings are military, and even they're not getting enough hours anymore. So there are all these jobs because they require, like, EMS, helicopter EMS requires like 1,000 hours, helicopter time, turbine, NVGs, all that stuff. Well, who's got at $500 or $700 an hour? Who's got that to build time? It's not like a Cessna. So there is an argument that it could be, but the pay right now is abysmal. Like, you spend all that money and you make 80 grand. I mean, it's not.
It's gotta, if it's supply and demand, right? If the supply's not there, then.
But it could. I mean, if if that trend is the correct trend, you could see helicopter aviation start to catch up because it's so specialized. But there is
again, I'm not knocking it. Go fly it. I think the 53 is a beast. All I'm saying is think long term too.
Yeah.
That's all. And then just be happy with what you got and be the best you can at that. So
honestly, I think that's what killed Davey Allison. Is Davey Allison the helicopter one?
I'm not familiar.
Yeah.
Sort of.
He had a brand new helicopter. Yeah, these guys are having a conversation without us, Wombat.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't know what this means, and I'm afraid to ask.
Yeah.
She resent, said subject is husband, but yep, I got it. Have you heard the L-15 from Alferson howling? Is engine noise or something else?
I don't know what that is.
I don't know. Probably air. Usually when something howls, it's air moving in one direction or another. Did you get struck by lightning? Yes. Did you? Twice. How many times have you been struck by lightning, Wombat?
I don't know.
Good talk.
Yeah, I don't remember, honestly. Do I have catch up right now too?
You could.
I know I have. I just can't remember what it was in.
The meal goes on the logbook can, Wombat. Just in case you're wondering. We had trays.
What's going to happen when they go full electronic logbook? See, I think ahead. This is not. You can't put a meal on an iPad.
Yeah.
These are real airline pilot problems that we need to address. Actually, I don't, because I have a snack tray, so I could care less what you guys do with it. But
yeah, 7,700 on the Nat tracks. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of them. But even that, you're talking now with CPDLC and ADSC and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's changed. It's changed so much.
It's so advanced. It knows when you change something in your mode control panel, and they'll ping you like, "Hey, why'd you change that?"
Yeah, it's so different. I mean, I remember when I brought that plane back, that delivery from Hamburg. I was like, "Oh man, I'm not going to be prepared for doing this." And then I was like, "Actually, that's pretty easy, actually." So that's cool.
Warsaw Iconic says, I think Mover Wombat had commented the latest Kizilama formation flight video, but I would like to hear your opinion. I didn't watch that video, but from what I understand, what are they flying, like route? Wombat?
Yeah.
What were they doing?
Yeah. Route is an Air Force term I don't use, but yeah, like a cruise formation.
Cruise.
No. It was interesting, but yeah, it was, at times it looked like tail chase.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
If it's doing it autonomously, that's cool.
Yeah. Look, I was not knocking the technology or the country or that. It's just like the only thing I said, and I think Gazmo said it too, is like you take the human element out of battle, and that's scary, man.
Yeah, I can see its utility.
Yep.
But I obviously don't see it as a full replacement.
Correct.
Of, because you're still going to have boots on the ground. That's going to be
and
eventually.
Sorry. I will say I did read a comment where somebody was like, "Oh, really? Just because you have a pilot in the plane, if you're ordered to drop a bomb, you're going to stop?" And it's like, yeah, if it's not right, like that is the last element, right? I mean, that is, we're trained to that, right? I mean, like you are the last line of defense to make sure what you're doing is correct, right? I mean, you were trained that way to where if something wasn't right, or like you're making that human element. So
yeah, for sure.
So yeah, you got to live with it, man. You sling that thing off your jet, that's on your conscience for the rest of your life.
Real Mike Bundy towards Gonki's VP campaign.
That's awesome. He's going to need a lot more than that.
Unless you're Stringfellow Hawk, you move on to Airwolf. Well, it's true, but Stringfellow could fly fixed wing too.
Yeah, guys like that usually could fly anything. So
yeah, I mean, I like flying.
Yeah,
I don't like flying for money though. See, I want to fly for me.
Yeah, no, that is a very big distinction.
Manley says, "Have either of you ever landed at Sky Harbor?" Yes.
Yep.
Oh, wait. Sky Harbor on Catalina
Yes.
at the Catalina Wine Mixer?
Yes. Well, this is, yeah, it is
I've
super
never-
sketchy.
I only know Sky Harbor is Phoenix. What's
Yeah, no.
Catalina Sky Harbor?
It's a small island off California. Just
Is it small or donkey small?
That is up to him to say, but yeah, it's southwest of LA, if I'm correct.
Okay. All right. What'd you land
It's
on?
beautiful out there. A buddy's very, very small. What is it, Cessna or something? I don't know. We just flew out there for fun and then realized we probably shouldn't have because it's a little sketchy and we weren't very well versed in that plane.
Garrett says in the Marines, there are more opportunities for rotary wing, more international exchange tours, fact tours, HMX1. There are also 5 active 53. Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Wombat's talking about civilian, not military.
Yeah. I was thinking past.
Yeah.
Again, not knocking it.
Dude, but in fairness, let's say Garrett is brand new, right?
Mm-hmm.
Earliest he can get out is 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe another 20 years. Dude, this industry is so cyclical. 10 years could be boom or bust. We just
you don't know.
It's almost impossible to know. Right now we feel like the glory days are here to stay, and that's the way it's always going to be. But if you talk to anybody that's been in this industry longer than 15 years, they'll go, it's not like that.
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree 100%. And honestly, when I was in presumably those shoes, I just cared about getting my wings. I didn't actually. I mean, I had a list of things that I was like, I'd like to fly fighters, I'd like to land on the boat, etc. But getting my wings was the primary. So that's hard enough,
Yeah.
So
Wombat, can I send you the picture of the cruise patch? And
absolutely. Email or Instagram message.
What's your email? trmatson@trmatson.com.
trmatson2@gmail.
Oh, you don't have an email address from trmatson.com?
Oh yeah, there's things on the to-do list for this year regarding.
Okay. All right. Okay. Hey, I finally caught up.
On the website. It is on the website. If you go, my email is on the
website. Because of the industry volatility, is it an argument to move away from the privatization model? No, God, no. Oh, no. You mean have the government run the airlines? Absolutely not. No. The government should not be running anything.
Sometimes I think the only thing that keeps the airlines going is the fact that they need a profit. If you made that into the government where they didn't need a profit, holy hell, what a mess.
Well, a lot of the profit is from
credit card sales.
Yeah.
But whatever, it's still profit. When you're going to hop on a plane to get to Mima's house for Christmas, you don't care where their profits are coming from. You just hope that it gets you there.
Dude, I heard travel was nuts over Christmas.
It was. I flew the day after. I did a 4-day the day after, and it was.
Yeah, worst parts of the Bible.
Yeah, it was not good, dude. I was pretty beat.
Hey, what's your go-to favorite New Year's? And Die Hard is a Christmas movie, right? But what's the New Year's movie?
I don't know if I really have one. That's a good question. What's yours?
Ghostbusters 2.
2. Okay. Specifically 2.
Specifically 2 because it happens New Year's Eve.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have one, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I'm going to focus on writing and hanging out with the family, not watching.
Well, all right. So what is Wombat's? Do you have a resolution? Do you do that?
I don't really do that, man. I mean, I joked with my wife this morning after I got back in from working out. She said something, and I was like, "New year, new you." And I kind of smiled, and she's like, "No, new year, same me, but I'm working on it." And I was like, "That's a good way to look at it." We're not. I think the problem. Screw it. You asked. I'll soapbox. I think the problem with New Year's resolutions are they are fundamentally designed to be broken because you're making all of this list or whatever of things that you want to do without really thinking about the work you have to do to get them done. Right. And that's the problem. It's like, look, instead of looking at the things that I want to do in 2026, I looked at 2025 and go, where did I fall short? What are things that I want to do better at? And what are tangible things that I could do today, January 1st, to move towards that goal? Not going to be perfect. And I've done some of those things I talked about earlier. And that doesn't get me through 2026. That gets me through January 1st of 2026. And then tomorrow will be another day. And you've got to start stacking those days. That's the only way I think it really, truly moves the needle. So yeah, there's not a list on my desk here of New Year's resolutions.
I did catch the end of Monday's show, and you talked to Gonky about his New Year's resolution, and which is the same resolution as it was last year.
Yep.
So are you saying he doesn't know the steps required to get there?
No, he knows the steps. I'm just not sure he's comfortable taking them yet.
Ooh.
Well, look, there's a lot of risk with that New Year's resolution. That's a big leap of faith. Let's be honest. We all, one of the things I find interesting as I get older, 10 years ago, if you asked me, do I consider myself successful? I'd say no. Today, I'd say, yeah, I am. Right. I have I'm healthy according to the flight doc, at least a couple of weeks ago. I am an airline captain. I am fairly decent at the job, or at least people don't hate flying with me from what they tell me. So, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I have a strong family. Everybody's healthy. I've had a successful military career. I've written 2 Amazon bestsellers, but still. I look at that and I go, okay, yeah, I'm successful. But nobody talks about, at least that I know of, everybody focuses in this world of, I call it motivation, because people will be like, I will give you the secrets to achieve your goals and do all. No, I can't give you the secrets. Mover can't give you the secrets. Watching the show, watching Mover and Gonky show, watching any show, any clip does not give you the secrets. All it does is give you short-term motivation. That's all it is. Short-term motivation. So it's the determination to do it day after day after day after day that is what really moves the needle, and what really lets you look back in the past 10 years and go like, damn. But nobody talks about what you do when you hit that point, right? The comfort point. Nobody talks about that. Like, they're like, okay, so now here you are. Like, you got the books, right? You've got the family outside playing. You've established a financial barrier that maybe can't protect you from everything, but it sure as hell is a lot more protective than it used to be, right? What next? Well, what most people do at that point is they fall off. They get comfortable. I've done it, right? You get comfortable. And I'm not saying Gonky's comfortable, but to then, when you have all this, if you think it's hard to put yourself out on the edge when you're trying to achieve a goal at the beginning of your life, try it when you're in the middle, hopefully, of your life, and you've already established yourself, because there's a lot more at stake. When I told myself at 22 years old I wanted to go be a pilot in the Navy, there was nothing at stake. I mean, it was me. It was just me. Like, what do I care, right? Like, if I died, I died. Nobody cared. My parents would care. My mom would care, obviously. But like, I didn't have anybody else, right? I didn't have a ton of bills or financial things moving. I had a truck that, frankly, if I didn't make it, I could have just sold. Like, there wasn't a whole lot. At 46, it's like, dude, there's people relying on you now, right? And that's where the game changes. And just like everything, whether it's military aviation, civilian aviation, non-aviation, the people that are successful adapt, right? So here I am sitting here in 2026 and I'm going, okay, I'm comfortable. I could be perfectly fine never writing another word. I could be perfectly fine just doing my job for the next however many years and retiring and being with my family and all that. But what is that showing my kids? It's showing my kids that dad was a really hard worker, right? Up to a point. And then he stopped and he just kind of coasted. It's showing my wife that she was attracted to this awesome fighter pilot one day. Just kidding. She wasn't. and saw me build what we have now. And then I coasted. And that coast, I think, is what a lot of people do, but very few people talk about. And I think it's important to address that. Going back to your question, that is where Gonki's at. He's a massively successful person. I think he's different. He has different success than I have, right? I mean, I've known the guy for 24 years, right? Very different success, right? I mean, he's not the traditional, like, working for the airlines and living in the, like, he doesn't have that traditional success. He's gone and done his own thing, and he's been very, very successful with it. And he's branched out into a lot of things, but it's still, he has some comfort, right? And I don't blame him for that, because he has people he has to answer to, right? He's got 2 kids he has to answer to. He has his wife he has to answer to. I think Gonki, if he had that New Year's resolution 20 years ago, it would have already come true in a second.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he hasn't done it in 2025 and whether he'll do it in 2026, I actually have a greater deal of respect for him, because he's not thinking about himself. He's thinking about the cumulative. So anyway, steps down from. So
Interesting.
Far. Yeah,
Interesting.
that's my take.
Interesting.
What about you? What's your New Year's resolution?
I don't have one.
There you go. And you've already achieved it. So congrats. Record time.
I'm going to be the same me. I have goals, but I don't have like a resolution. Like I'm going to continue working towards the things that I've been working towards the whole time. One of the things, 2021 through 2024 were transitional years for me.
Hold on. Let me go back in the Rolodex. Yeah. I'll see that.
Because there was a lot going on. There was a lot of fallout. There was a lot of change. There was a lot of whatever. Last year was the first year where I kind of, even though I had the kidney thing happen and I was on LTD and all that stuff, I had a lot of like leveling out. A lot of things kind of smoothed out, and I got a clear picture of kind of what the future is, what the priorities are, and what I want to do versus what I'm doing.
Okay. And
one of the things that I have gotten away from is kind of what built everything, which is the books. Mm-hmm. C.W. Lemoyne exists, one, because the Navy created that name for me when they put it on a jet, and I thought that was cool. But also, that's the first time I got a name tag. They're like C.W. Lemoyne, because I guess that's what they do. But
so that's funny.
But the book thing kind of took a backseat to a lot of stuff. And one of my goals is to explore that space more and kind of give it the push that it needs.
Mm-hmm.
As far as for success, I haven't really done well with marketing. I haven't done well with writing new books and continuing stuff. Because that, I always think, what is the end goal, right? I don't think YouTube is an end goal. I don't think it's a long-term sustainable solution. It's fun to do, and I love interacting with the fans. But the reason I started YouTube was because of the books, because I wanted a way to interact with readers and fans and stuff like that. So that, while it's a good stepping stone and it's a good place, it's not the goal, the end. So my goal is to continue the writing, continue promoting film, TV, stuff like that. Those are, to me, the next logical steps.
Sure.
And putting that out in the space, which means writing more, promoting it more, doing that. The channel is still going to exist and still going to do stuff. I'm going to, still do that full time. The podcast is doing way better than I ever expected. Yeah. And I think long term that has some legs too, because that's a different format, and I think it works. So, that is the goal. Now, this year I didn't run a single race. I almost did. I was supposed to go to Pensacola, fly flags, and race that, and that didn't happen. So next year I want to race. It's probably going to be Battle Scarred Motorsports, which is just as good and just as much fun for me.
Sure.
But I'm going to race more. Helicopter flying with Luna, helicopter flying with the sheriff's office stuff. I mean, there could be other things in my future, non-aviation related, in leadership roles. I don't know, but to me, it's not about a resolution. It's about just setting expectations and working towards those goals and not stopping and not resting on laurels. I think if I do go through with some certain things, it's going to piss a lot of people off. I already see this. I already see the crowd of haters that are going to, you know, not be too happy because for whatever reason they live vicariously through me. But what I will say to that is I am in the position I'm in because I've made some good decisions and some bad decisions. And the sum of those decisions is ultimately me.
Yeah.
So if it's a bad decision, I'll own it. And if it's a good decision, which I think it will be, I'll never look back and go, oh, well, I wish it'll probably be, I wish I'd have done it sooner. But other than that, Bob just sent an email and it says, this is your new seat for your office.
That would be great. I'd love somebody to buy that for me.
No. You just said you're very successful. I think you can. That's like what, 40 minutes of work?
First of all, no. Maybe if you're a Southwest 2-year guy.
I wonder how many times it's been peed on. That's what I need to know.
All of the times. And that's
like how much pee does it have? Because you know,
I need somebody to send me a link. That is pretty cool. I don't know.
The shipping, dude. It weighs 106. Put it by the potty chair.
Yeah. That is that'd be cool to have. That would go in my office very nicely. But yeah, the one thing I will say to the potential future haters with your decision, if it's what I think you're talking about, I can say beyond a shadow of a doubt, the decision, whichever way you go, was not made lightly. So to people that may pile on the hate side, you definitely didn't make a rash decision. Like you've thought this one through a lot. And I think there's something to be said for that, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's exciting. 2026. That's what we're here for.
If it happens, it happens. If not, then I guess we're talking about nothing.
Isn't that mostly what we do?
Yeah. Well, I never wanted to be just the aviation guy.
Yeah.
And I think that's the YouTube algorithm kind of pigeonholes you a little bit, but
sure.
I appreciate all the viewers, subscribers, followers, people that message me, all that stuff. I don't always do a good job. I usually don't do a good job of writing back, and I apologize because I'll flag something and be like, God, I forgot what I was supposed to, wasn't there an email I was going to respond to? It's tough, so I apologize. But for me, I would rather people want to follow because of what I'm doing overall than just what's he talking about airplanes, because I'm not the 10,000 hour guy. I'm not the 20,000 hour guy. I don't have 14 type ratings or whatever. I've got experience. I'm an experienced guy. I've been flying for 24 years.
Crazy.
Isn't it crazy? Yeah. But am I, but do I want to just be aviation? No. And that's why I got a second channel, and I'm going to work on that too. All right. So let's see. Catalina wide mixer we talked about. Cruise patch we talked about. Happy New Year, Baghdaddy Mike. Oh, hey, how's Wombat doing?
She's hanging in there. She's had multiple rounds of treatment so far. She has good days and bad days, but just from an energy standpoint, I think is the big thing. You know what I mean? That zaps the energy out of you. But whether she's listening or not right now, and I don't know if she is, and it's irrelevant, but I'll say it and put it out there. I am in awe of her strength. And I always look back at the things I've been through in my life, and it's hard to put a specific pinpoint on like why I am who I am. We're all just we're a product of our environment, of what we've been through. But before the really hard things I've been through, I'm like, what did I like? Where did this resolve come from? And then when I see her going through this, I'm like, That's where it came from. Like she is fighting hard.
That's
hard,
awesome.
hard. So
yeah, that's awesome. And I'm sure you're very motivational for her. So
I don't know. I mean, we'll see. But I try to do my best. I'm trying to get book 3 done so she could read it soon. So
let's see. I'm in South Africa. What platforms are your books available from? Now they're all on Kindle Unlimited. I made that switch.
About that.
I made that switch December 15th. I'm waiting for results, but I started exclusively on Kindle Unlimited for everything. Unless it's print, and then it's everywhere. Yeah. Mover's 2026 resolution, no free trips through the HUD. Yeah, there you go.
Is that your car's HUD, or what HUD are we speaking of? Or 2027
HUD?
Yeah, maybe.
When I was in Pensacola, I lived literally 2 minutes from Five Flags. Man, that would have been a good race. And they're not going back to Five Flags now. So that deal is over. They replaced it with, I think, Hickory. Drummer says, do you do much? I used to. I haven't. You know what? I just bought the new NASCAR game, so I want to play that. Made by the people of iRacing. I hope so. Hughes 500 and OH58 time will also be part of this year. Your books deserve more attention. Writing is a big part of your identity. Yeah, I've always enjoyed writing. MJ says keyboard warriors are standing by with the hate mail.
Perfect.
Oh, it's going to be biblical.
Bring it.
Big Chris says, "Sup guys, I start Navy primary in 5 days. Nervous but excited. Happy New Year's." There you go. New Year's. Rule number 1, don't be a douche. Help your bros. Have a good attitude. Enjoy it. Show up. Study.
As somebody with a fair amount of instructor time in the Navy, I will tell you, I could teach anybody to fly that comes prepared with a good attitude.
Yeah. I've talked about the halo horns, right? You want to show up. The ones that do well know their stuff, like they've studied, they've come prepared, and then you do well a couple times, you get the halo effect. And other instructors, because instructors talk, right? Wombat, they talk to each other.
Oh, yeah.
And so, if they're like, hey, that kid's pretty good, they kind of let their guard down a little bit. They're not as, but if you're the one that shows up, you never know anything, you don't show prepared, and you've been busting rides, and they talk, and you got the horns, and you got a target on your back. So keep the halo.
Don't ever. Yeah. Congrats, though. Good luck.
Reasonably bad actor. Life goes on. What doesn't kill you make you stronger and tough. Hang in there. I'm 34, still single and strong. Hey, man. Being single is okay.
People say single like it's a bad thing. And that's
so here's my confession.
Uh-oh.
Somebody.
This is a weird way to do it, but okay, everybody. Are you going to clip this too?
No, somebody invited me to a thing last night, and they waited till like 2:00, which is really late in the day to make plans.
Yeah.
Especially on New Year's. And they're like, hey, you got any plans? I'm like, yeah. And like, okay, well, I was like, no, I don't know. I kind of made these plans. I don't want to change. My plans were the 45-pound dog, because I didn't want to leave her alone with the fireworks.
Yeah, that's valid.
Because I didn't want to leave her by herself to deal with this. And because it sounded like Fallujah. And she usually is not much of a cuddler or gets close, but last night she was, because she was scared.
How old is she?
She's 5.
Okay, so it's that. I mean, she's not old, but it's a pure puppy. They care less.
I wasn't gonna leave her. She's not shaking or freaking out, but she's nervous a little bit, and I can tell like her demeanor's changed, and I wasn't gonna leave her by herself to deal with that. So we watched Heat, which I've never seen. Have you ever seen Heat? Had never seen it before last night. It's with Val Kilmer and Tom Sizemore, Al Pacino, Robert De Niro.
Really a long time ago. Yeah.
Lorenz says, I love this channel. Do the stories of fighter jets. My dreams to be a pilot. Now I'm not able to. Well, make them tell you no. There's always waivers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mover, did you see where the new Corvette could have a 6.7? I did. The Grand Sport. We'll see how that works out. Naturally aspirated cross plank. So not flat plane crank, but the cross.
Yeah, that's because American companies are learning they can't manufacture to the level that you need for a flat plane crank to not explode, in my opinion.
Silver Trooper 2026, keep the DEF out of the tank. I had to put DEF in it before my trip last week, and I was like,
Super nervous.
Oh, dude.
Did you FaceTime Gonky to make sure you're like, so confirm? It's like an engine shutdown in the sim.
Yeah. Confirm.
Jeff, confirm. We're confirmed. Okay, I'll put it in here. Are we sure? And then you freak out about it halfway through. That's funny.
Dustin says, Happy New Year's, New Year. I still have quite a high residual blood alcohol content from last night. So I have no idea what the stream is about. So neither do we.
Yeah, and we're both sober. So
unless it would involve me getting a subpoena, I can't think of anything a person who I follow online could do that would make me angry. I'm angry and I want to tell you about it.
Yeah.
To another year of boring flying. We understand. I enjoy cars, planes, all types, props to jets to enjoy the channel. RC stuff too. That's awesome. Racing content is always awesome.
Yeah.
I bought a new helmet. I was going to go try to do the ARCA Daytona test. And I don't know what happened with Bobby. I guess he couldn't do it. But I just bought a new helmet. So at least now I got a helmet.
Speaking of fun things to do, my wife gets first right of refusal.
Oh, the Raptor thing?
March.
March is NOLA. Your wife, send your wife because March is NOLA.
Well, it doesn't have to be March. March is just the date I was on.
What about April? You come race Daytona with us.
I don't know what April's doing. I haven't even been vacation yet. But what if there? So if my wife does not want to go out to the Raptor course,
yeah,
then we need to have a discussion on if you genuinely want to try to go because it's an add-on cost. It's in Salt. Well, it's near Salt Lake.
Yeah, we can talk offline about it. See what
that'd be.
Yeah,
I will tell you, as somebody who ran that thing on dirt roads up in the mountains this weekend, it is fun. And because you were going with me, you would get the R course. So
the
you
R
only
course.
Drive the super truck
for the Pirates. R.
Yes. Yeah, but you can't make fun of them when you're there because that's
T. Kelly says you know that we only follow you because of Luna, as you should.
Yeah, that's fair.
I like the other stuff, not just aviation, life with dogs, Luna, the gun, sheriff stuff, racing. Yep. Sheriff stuff could be a big part of 2026. Brent says, I watched because I trust you guys for having good judgment, credible opinions. We try. Wishing good 2026 for vibes from Wombat. Code Monkey says, Happy New Year, gentlemen. I would have a beer with you too anytime to swap stories. You as pilots, me as an engineer that writes flight software that both enhances and annoys you. That's true.
Not necessarily in that order.
Yeah. Vecni, Hi Tove, Happy New Year, Mover and Wombat. Mover, I think, will be interested to do a collab with Wings Over the Rockies this year. Oh, yeah.
What is that?
Wings. That's the guys. So when we did the Dos Gringos, we were helping promote the Wings Over. I think the Wings Over the Rockies. It's a museum out over in the Rockies. That's the name.
Okay. That checks out.
Yeah. All right, Wombat. Well, dude, I think we extended this far longer than I promised you, but thank you for being. Thank you for being a friend.
Thanks for having me. I'm going to try to do it more if you invite me. I'm going to try to. That's part of the non-resolution resolutions. So,
Laura B, she's talking about the podcast. Yes, I'm going to try to reestablish that in a regular manner. Probably not next week, but the week after, because I've got a sheriff meeting on Wednesday. They always do them on Wednesdays. So, but soon. Subi says, what move are you going to get hate for? I think I missed that part. Yeah, I haven't told you what the move is. So
it's on a need to know basis.
Yeah.
Mover doesn't even know.
It's not, we're on the path, but we're not necessarily execute.
Yeah.
We haven't executed it yet.
The late stage planning.
We have decided, but not yet decided. The decision isn't decided yet.
Yeah.
So, all right, man. Well, hey, if I do get tagged for a trip Monday, you want to stunt double for me again on Monday?
I'm not flying as of right now. So,
are you able to come back to the show if I am there?
What do you mean?
I guess the bottom line is, do you want to do the show Monday?
Well, yeah, as long as I'm not working, I'll do the show.
Okay. All right. You're not completely turned off by the comments after?
Not yet. We'll see.
Okay, good. All right.
Gonky keeps putting up more clips, so there's always the potential for more hate.
Well,
I forget what we talked about, honestly. So
you just can't go look. That's your problem. Is you just got to fire and forget, because that's what he does.
But I know he does. Sometimes he just forgets and forgets. There's no firing involved, but yeah, I know. But
I wish I had his level. Well, part of the thing too, the reason he doesn't read the comments is because they're mostly always positive about him anyway.
Correct.
Because I don't understand how.
I don't read the 5-star reviews of my books.
I don't read any reviews at all anymore. Wow. I don't know how I stopped myself from ever reading another review, but I haven't read a review for my books in years. Yeah. But I still read all the YouTube comments.
I don't do it a ton, but I occasionally go back and I'm just like, hey, I wonder if people are still putting reviews, because the reviews do help. So
they do, but I don't read them. I tell people to go leave a review. Oh, hey, I got a finalist thing. Did I tell you about this?
No.
Best thrillers. Did you put your book in the best thrillers? Yeah. So I got this email that says, congrats. The results are in, and Project Virtus has been named a finalist in the 2025 Best Thriller Book Awards.
That's awesome.
Winners and finalists have been, so I'm not a winner. I'm just a finalist.
Well, you're a finalist. I think I was a winner with one and a finalist with the other. So that's cool.
Oh, man, I've never won anything. Each year, the Best of the Year award is posted and seen by tens of thousands. Whatever, dude. I'm hundreds of thousands. You guys skip the line.
Listen. Okay. Take the win, okay?
Suggested finalist language. I'm elated to announce that Project Virtus is a Best Thrillers Book Awards finalist. I'm honored to be recognized among such a great list of authors. Well, I don't know that that's true. I haven't seen the other authors.
Oh, man.
That's probably why I'm not a good author.
No.
It's a good question, MJ. I thought you could, but I think they already announced the winner, so I don't know. Thomas says 2026 resolution, get the reason behind Gonky.
Never gonna happen. Never gonna happen. I promise you will learn my call sign before you learn.
You have already failed. Wombat, we can't find your book on Spotify. Is that does Spotify have audiobooks?
Yeah, I don't know if they have audiobooks.
Oh, dude.
You can go to Audible, it's on there.
I don't know how I'm gonna publish this. But this is cool. I put my book in, oh, look, phone call from Texas. I put my book in this Notebook LM, and it made a 15-minute podcast with two people that they created talking about the book.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I kind of want to do that.
Yeah. All right. Well, Happy New Year, everybody. I'm going to go take some... whatever, antihistamine or something, so I don't sound so nasally. And I hope you guys have a great new year and enjoy 2026. Gotta remember to say that right. Amen. Thanks, Wombat. We'll see you next time.
Man. See ya.